It was good news. It turned out that the cat was okay. It was a girl, and she disappeared because she was giving birth to her very own little ball of fur. Very good news indeed. But what exactly were we going to do with these two little bits of good news? Well, we kept up the routine of feeding her. She was still missing a foot after all, so it would be extra hard for her as a new mum. We set up a table right at the entrance to her nest with a bowl of water and dried biscuits, which we kept topped up at all times. We then also gave her wet food to eat for both breakfast and dinner meals. Once again, I kept up the same routine of saying good morning to the cat, but this time I also said good morning to her baby too. It was still a good start to my day before I went off to work. When I got home, I would check on them again and top up their biscuits and water bowls if they needed it. This was the regular routine for a couple of weeks, until that is, when the rain came. It rained on and off for a week, sometimes just spitting, but other times quite hard with a strong wind. There was a tree above her nest, but we knew that wasn't enough shelter, and they'd still be getting wet, so we came up with a plan. We started putting her food and water bowls under the patio to lure her away from the nest. One morning, when the cat was eating breakfast, my husband managed to squeeze through from behind the shed. He put a towel on the floor and gently used a broom to push the kitten onto the towel. When he pulled the towel out, along came the kitten. We thought it was a good idea to set the cat up in our shed, as it was right next to the nest, and it would be a nice, dry, safe place for them. So we put the kitten into a box and left it just inside the shed with the door wide open. Unfortunately, the cat had run off when she saw my husband right next to the nest. I don't think she realized that we could get so close, so she was petrified to find out that this wasn't the case. We were worried that she had gone for good, but she eventually did come back. She sniffed all around the shed, but she just wouldn't go in the shed. She then disappeared from our view. It was over an hour later, and we were getting really worried that she had indeed abandoned the kitten, this time for good. We decided to move the kitten back to the entrance of the nest, and thankfully she came back again. We were very glad. You can see in this video that she very gently picks up her kitten and heads back to her nest. So that plan backfired. The next step was for my husband to make a roof above the nest. He wedged a couple of foam mats into the gap between the fence and shed so that the rain would flow away and the cats could at least stay dry. This actually worked quite well, and the cats were very happy, but we knew that this was just a short-term solution. What we needed to do was catch the cat and her kitten. Then we could get them both desexed and hopefully domesticate them to become a part of our family. We couldn't find an actual cat trap, so we ended up buying an extra large dog cage. Our new plan was to use the cage as the trap. We started feeding her in the cage by leaving the food and water bowls inside. Over the course of a week, we slowly crept the door of the cage closer and closer to the closed position. On the last day, we didn't give her any breakfast to ensure that she would be starving by dinner time. And when dinner time came, the door was 3/4 closed and my husband lay in wait. When she was engrossed in eating, he quickly ran out and slammed the door shut. She was not happy.